Hello, members of Flutissimo. I hope everyone is well, staying safe and staying healthy. And for anyone who celebrated, had a wonderful and blessed Easter weekend. I thought I'd make a tutorial and hopefully answering a lot of questions you might have on making a virtual recording, ensemble recording. I'm sure that you've all seen them on Facebook or YouTube, or just had links that were displaying these particular performances. Some performances are better than others. Really depends on the platforms that people are using. For example, some ensembles or individuals use a file or a app called Acapello, and you can put together I think up to 6 or 8, something like that, recordings. It's pretty easy, kind of a plug-and-play sort of thing. However, for other ensembles, larger orchestral situations or wind band, wind orchestra, most of those ensembles have engineers that are working and putting those particular files together, mostly so that they actually sound like an ensemble. Always the difficult part about these sort of projects is that everybody's arena where you're recording is very different. The sound, the acoustical foundations are very different. So for this purpose, what I'll be using and what I do use for myself is GarageBand for recording on my Mac Pro, which has a pretty good sound actually. Don't really need to have anything outside or anything fancy. And then I usually use iMovie to put these files together. It's kind of a tweener in between having an engineer and using something called Acapello. So again, the process is fairly simple. You have to have a couple of things with you. Obviously your flute. I would test out where the best sound is that you can come up with, whether it's a foyer of a house. I've made a lot of my recordings actually in the front room of my home, the living room, because I find that it has the best acoustics. The ceilings are quite high. My videos that I've been making, instructional videos, I've been making in my kitchen, where I am now, because the sound isn't so boomy when I talk and when I play my flute. I have my music stand, which usually for recordings I usually put pretty low so that it doesn't infiltrate the screen, obviously your music, and a set of earbuds or headphones. What you're going to be using these for is you're going to be watching the conducting and listening to the music while you're playing. So you're going to be listening to that in your ear, but it's not going to be coming across in the recording. The only thing that comes across in the recording is your playing. So don't forget on the Dona Nobis that you're going to be starting from measure 65, I believe. That's where it's in the key of F. I wanted to do a shorter version. This particular work, although I really like it, comes across a little bit better in a live performance than it does on a recorded performance. It's a little bit lengthy, so I think that 65 for our particular purposes is just fine. So whatever apparatus you decide to use, whether it's an iPhone or another phone video sort of thing, actually many of the members of Lone Star Wind Orchestra for the recordings that we've been making have actually been using their phones. Now, again, the engineers have been doing great things as far as tweaking. Some of the videos and audios that we heard, we just could not use. The sound just wasn't good enough. I have a feeling maybe the members didn't test it out before submitting, and perhaps didn't listen to them before they were submitted to the engineer staff. But there was enough there that the recordings came out pretty nicely. So anyway, so once you're ready to start recording, again, test out rooms in your home just to find out what works the best for you. You don't have to go to any sort of, extended day to do this. Just keep it super simple. So once you've gotten to that point, You want to put the video on, whether it's on an iPad or another apparatus, a laptop or a desktop computer, have that video going. Press play or press record on whatever recording device you have. Make sure, I usually just use one ear because I need to hear myself. I want to hear my intonation and my articulation. So I don't usually use both headphones, but some people find that to be kind of nice. I just don't. Put that in your ear. Start up the recording. If you could take maybe 5 seconds before you start, and then start up the video. I give you a prep. Make sure that you've tested out the prep so you know exactly how many beats I'm giving you, and then you can start playing. Once you've finished with the piece, give it a couple of seconds at the end as well. It gives me a little bit more to work with from an editing standpoint. Turn off the recording. Make sure that you save it. And if I were you, I would save it in 2 separate places, just in case. I had a situation a couple of weeks ago where I was making masterclass videos for one of my high schools, and for some odd reason, somehow iMovie dropped one of my videos. I could not find it, and I was just in the process of putting it in the second area, and for some reason I just couldn't find it. I'm sure at some point or another, years from now, I will find it, but I had to redo the entire video. Also, make sure that any kids that you might have in the house or animals, just kind of warn your family or others in your home that you're going to be doing some recording. I had a couple of students who sent me test videos of performances they're submitting for Texas Flute Society Festival. And a dog was barking through most of the video. I could barely hear the student playing. And the other one, there was a mower sound and the Doppler effect of the mower coming closer and the mower going a little bit further away. So obviously I sent those videos back, but they were just test videos, so it was pretty good. But do make sure that you save it. Once you have saved it, what you want to do is you want to upload it to the link that I sent you on my Dropbox. I was going to use SharePoint. And also going back, Janice and I kind of collaborated, discussed on this, that if you would like to do just an audio, you're more than welcome. If you want to do a video and an audio, that's perfectly fine. You can do both at the same time. If you use an app like iMovie or even QuickTime, you can do both video and audio at the same time. I would be happy to receive that. Either one or both would be just fine. So anyway, so after that process is done, you want to upload it to the link. I still have yet to put it on our Google Classroom because I just finished a couple more videos of my own last evening late. So forgive me, I sent it out in an email, but I didn't put it on the Google Classroom, which I will do. Once you have done that, if you could text me once it has uploaded. It will take a little while, especially if you do video, because the files are rather large. And the reason for texting me, and I'll give you my number in a second, is because I only have so much space on my Dropbox. That's always an issue, even with larger ensembles. Most of our engineers have been pulling our files off of SharePoint is what all of my ensembles are using. SharePoint is kind of expensive, especially if you're buying extra space on it, but these ensembles have larger budgets, obviously. So anyway, so text me if you would, just to let me know that it has been successfully uploaded. Wait until it's done. It does take a little while. And my phone number, as you have seen probably on my emails, 484-557-9776. And if you could identify who you are, that would be great. When you save your files, make sure that you save them fairly specifically. I'd like you to use the title. So in this particular case, you can just put Dona Nobis, your name, and also the part that you were playing. That would be really helpful for me just to keep everything cataloged very neatly. And I'm trying to think about anything else that I think would be helpful. I think the most helpful thing, if I were to give you 3 different sorts of strategies, are make sure that the room that you're recording in is a good room. It's a good representation of your playing. The second thing would be make sure that you save, just so you don't lose any materials. That's the most frustrating part of doing these particular projects. And then the third thing is make sure that you do identify on your files the piece, who you are, and what part you played. Other than that, the process is actually fairly simple for individual members. I've been on both sides, or all 3 sides, I should say, because I've been recording, I've been engineering, and I've also been putting these together as well. And so it's been a great learning process. I've done these in the past, but on a much, much smaller scale. And so I thought it would be a nice project for us to work on together, just to see, you know, what a project like this could do. Keeps everybody busy playing their instruments, which is most important, because we're bound to come out of this on the other side. And once we meet in person again, which hopefully will be sooner than later, just want to make sure that, you know, that we're all on the same page and happy to play our instruments. So happy recording. You know where I am. If you have any questions, as I've stated in my emails, my teaching schedule and my masterclass schedule and my playing schedule actually is pretty brutal. Everybody's schedules are right now, kind of trying to continue on with our careers and kind of keeping people interested in what we do. So if I don't get back to you right away, please forgive me. I will get back to you. But sometimes I have students that are lined up in sometimes 20, 25 students a day. And so I'm kind of giving of my time and my talents, as it were. But I will absolutely get back to you. So happy recording, and stay healthy and stay happy. And we'll speak very soon.